So, welcome back to the final hour of part 11, or episode 11, not part 11, episode 11 of Unfettered. Um, we come upon our um, heroes later that day in their rooms. What is everybody up to?
Constance is trying to be part of the party, but she's like face down in a couch, like yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of like we're drinking, but then there's that kind of like ruminating movement of we've still got two more trials we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to win one of them.
We only have to win one of them, but still.
Vessinger, that's your job. I did my jobs.
Oh, very well. Suppose you did. But this is going to be difficult. Unless they send some like shithead up for the diplomacy one. By the way, I legitimately didn't remember Ponchos' name when I called him Pompous.
Nice. That's good. That's some good shit. You have 10 days before the next trial. Once more.
Alright.
What are you going to do?
Well, there's this island with blue dragons.
I sort of figured. What is Albert going to do?
Albert, I kind of briefly said this in the moment during break, but I think Albert's at the point where, for the trial of lore, he wants to try, like, kind of.
I will point out that you have not contacted your peeps.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Because you have people throughout Hersagul doing stuff.
I've assumed that was just kind of going on the back burner.
Okay, then we should see you talking to
all right, let's do that.
Some
then.
people. Specifically, I think Kelly reports, green across the board.
Yeah.
But Zaire, I think when you call them up today, Captain,
Zaire.
things have gotten bad here in Dunsimic.
What's happened?
I found out what was happening to the Genasi. The governor is having them sacrificed.
What?
And it's gotten worse. Her subordinates, her cultists, they walk the street now.
Broad daylight.
I do not know how much she still answers to the Empire. Every day it feels less like this is an imperial occupation and more like a fiendish one.
This is troubling news indeed. Alright. Zaire. I would tell you to withdraw. Make sure stay out of trouble, but my guess is that leaving Dunsimic would not be not align with your own beliefs.
I'm trying to get as many to safety as I can.
Very well.
But
I'll contact John.
Good.
He should know the most about this, and it can only help.
Is there any way you can finish the trial sooner?
Unfortunately, convincing the dragons to do things at anyone else's pace seems to be rather impossible. But if we win the next trial, I'll try, Zaire. Within 10 days. Hopefully. Anyways, try to resist. Get as many Genasi to safety as possible. Make sure they hear the words of our revolution.
Of course.
I'll send John to contact you. He should be there within a matter of days. Keep at it.
My thanks. Be safe.
You too. Yeah. So I call up John.
Okay. Hey, Captain.
John, bad news.
Oh.
So
Gumsies is dead?
it sounds like you're rather not very disappointed if that were the case.
No, my heart would be broken, but wouldn't be surprised.
Gamzees is doing fine, probably better than most of on Mara Dune. Anyways, there's trouble in Dunsimic. The governess has
Hmm?
revealed a rather, well, ill-boding side to her. Apparently she's been sacrificing Genasi, some sort of dark ritual.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
And cultists walk the streets in broad daylight.
Oh, that sounds even worse. Alright.
I'll have to trouble you to go over there and try and help Zaire out in whatever way you delay the ritual, kill some cultists.
You heard me at helping Zaire.
Ah, divine above. John, please.
What?
Try and think with your other head for once.
You know, bit of one, bit of the other.
Anyways, best of luck. Don't get shot down.
Aye aye.
I'm gonna close off communication.
Mhm.
Is there any other messages from anyone else?
No, I mean, everybody else, I think, is with you, except Lifo, who is doing what now?
He is running support, so when anyone was running into trouble, he was the one that they'd call.
Yeah.
Oh, so Lifo. So all
I
of our
think
people
Lifo is
converted
probably helping Kelly out.
That would make sense. And also, Lifo's kind of gotten a little bit familiar with the terrain, I imagine, at this point in Mulland.
Yeah.
After fucking up so many Imperials.
Yeah.
Don't know if you
So
can hear that police siren, but there's a police siren. Yeah.
coming
So
to get ya.
I'm gonna do all that, and then Vessinger is gonna kind of have like this dark look flash over his face. Looks like I don't have much of a choice. He's gonna try to. He's gonna roll up his sleeve, and you see, that same tattoo that we saw earlier, like the beautiful kind of gold wrought tattoo, with that same like line through it. Like with the movement of his hand, you see the kind of like power dissipate from that line, and he settles down on his bed, like meditating in a cross-legged position, eyes like half slitted, and he's gonna try and commune with fate.
All right. Can you roll religion for me?
All right.
You know what you have too much of right now?
Inspiration. Yeah, I can only
I've burned through over half of my inspiration this session.
burn through it.
It's a good time to use it.
I don't have very much religion. Not a great paladin. Oh! Now if that ain't fate, right there. Double 20. Holy
Double.
shit.
Was it?
Okay,
It was
come
a
on.
double crit. Oh
Yes.
my
You gotta
god.
You gotta give me something really good for that.
Okay,
one.
hold on.
That's like
I'm just gonna. Can I show this on stream somehow? Can I show you guys that that's a double 20? Oh no! Here, type a bunch of shit in chat real quick. I need a couple rows of space between the bottom. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, now stop. Yeah. Double crit, double nat 20s. Okay. What are you looking for here?
I'm looking for the way to win the next trial. Like the way to navigate this and seize victory from the dragons as quickly, seize victory from the Empire as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and so you like cross your legs and like close your eyes, and then immediately we see your eyes open and they turn like pure black, like we saw with Zaire. And you get a flash of several images. You see the dragons roaring in anger and launching out from the Draconic Isles. But what you see is you see them going to Mulland and meeting with the Empress. And then the middle of the frame sort of ripples, and then you see the vision tear away, and instead you see the dragons nodding to you in their human forms, and the two of you, Constance and Albert, walking out of the Palace of Majesty, and then we see a series of you speaking individually with the dragons at their islands, and then that burns, like those two images burn away from the center, as if lit on fire, and you can see Clementine, wounded, crawling along the floor of the mayoral manor.
Yeah.
Trailing blood behind her, and you see next to her a dagger that is impossibly white. It's like it's almost like shadows were just deleted from it.
It's almost like a
someone forgot the shading texture.
Wide.
Yeah. It's like there are no shaders on it, basically. And looking at it, you see the world just burn away from it. And as that happens, you see some kind of a hand reaching out toward you, as if beckoning. And then your vision fades.
You see his, well, like at the time, like I imagine his eyes were like half lidded, then they closed and opened up like that kind of black light, and like you see kind of fade away, and he's like trembling with a cold sweat over his forehead, as he kind of like slicks his hair back and turns back to the tattoo and like burns like a cross through it again. That wasn't helpful at all. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of like ponder the question. I like radio.
Yeah, what? Sorry.
I need to talk to you.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. I'm just reading this bit on. Okay. Well, whatever. Okay. Be there soon.
So I'm gonna call over Constance.
Yeah.
Constance, I had a vision.
Okay.
I saw the dragons ride. Wait, this would just be easier. Do the thing.
Julie, do the thing.
And then like Constance like stumbles back like, what?
Mm-hmm.
That was okay. Memories are like one thing, and intense memories are that was headache.
Yeah, I think from like an audience perspective, there's like a almost inaudible bass thrum that's coming every once in a while, just ebbing in and out.
Okay, so what did we get there? Okay, dagger, dragons, us winning, us not winning, us talking to dragons, talking to dragons.
That it's possible that us winning, that might not be a vision of us winning, us not winning, and it might still be part of. They flew off to the Empress anger. They might be a sign of age.
I'm gonna go look up that dagger.
That would be a wise act. I'll radio in with John and can understand it.
Like, do you think this is important enough to bug the blue dragon about? Well, we'll find out. Constance like starts like skipping off, like, stop skipping. I'm in a dragon castle.
In a dragon castle.
Walk dignified
So
to the.
Vessinger is gonna kind of like look pensively, and then he's gonna get up from where he was sitting, and he's gonna go out, and I think he's gonna spend time, kind of, I don't know, going and trying to talk to the dragon.
Who are you trying to talk to?
So I'll probably try and talk first, to, like, it's not like I'm trying to get something out of this thing. I think it's going to try and pay his respects.
Your mic is cutting out. You've also gotten steadily quieter. You might want to try your Microsoft microphone settings. Okay.
So basically, my idea is not to go and have like real conversation. I don't know. Going and talking, stirring up the hornet's nest that is the dragon seems like a bad idea at the moment. So I'm probably gonna end up like researching more about the dragon's personality. Actually,
Is the blue one who's in charge of the secrets?
Yes. Wait. Yes.
One of the two in charge with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what's the metallic one?
No, secret is
Wait, no, it's lore.
diamond. Yeah.
Okay, so
The secret is diamond and brass. Conversation is
Blue.
Oh, wow.
blue.
I didn't realize
And
that. All right.
Okay, that's
I'll
okay.
go-
I don't feel as bad going up to it being like, "Hey, we just saw this vision. Let me just ruin the secret for you."
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to. I'll go organize a meeting with the Dragon of the Diamond.
okay, so Saru.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check to see if you can
Alright.
actually get entrance
Okay.
or gain an audience with Saru.
I'm going to reduce my inspiration value because I'm inspiring myself in this one. Hey.
Yeah,
Well.
absolutely. Saru will talk to you. But first, let's see Constance talk to Satoru.
Yeah, fair.
Very similar names. That's gonna get confusing.
You're Lord Sataru. Bow.
Yes.
Okay.
You have returned again.
I'm
State your
sorry,
reason.
but this time it's a bit more, well, dire to a mortal like me. My friend had a vision, and something stuck out to me, and I wish to ask your great knowledge if you know of it. It was
A vision
saw-
from where?
fate.
I see. Continue.
It was a dagger, pure white, with no shadows, almost as if it ate them, in the possession of the Empire.
I see.
Do you know where I might look to find out anything of this?
In the library.
Thank you.
Very helpful.
I like just kind of stop and just, do you know anything of it off the top of your head?
He looks up. I do not know what the top of my head is to do with this.
Like Constance like has like this moment of just like talking with Vessinger, or it's like talking with Lee Fo. And mortal phrasing. Without laboring yourself, do you know anything of this?
This particularly, I know that your friend received a vision from fate, which by our records is not frequent. I know also that what you have seen is a material not of this world.
Thank you.
Helpful.
So you just have to ask him for help. That's. Thank you. I'll scurry into the library.
Interesting.
Studying Constance.
He's
This is gonna
like
be a
one of those. He's one of those fucking anime boys that just goes.
No. What? Just imagine in 100 years, there's going to be a scroll written by the Great Blue Dragon, the behavior of elves, and it's going to be completely based off of Constance.
Maybe.
Of elves and rebels.
Meanwhile, Vessinger, you are being entertained at the palace of Saru, god dragon of the Diamond Sextant.
Yeah.
The village below his palace is filled with Dragonborn studying the arts of navigation, cartography, and ship making.
Yeah.
And you are brought almost immediately upon your arrival to Saru, who you show up, you get off your boat, and a Dragonborn attendant is there. The god dragon of the Diamond Sextant desires your presence. Or will have your presence.
My thanks. Please.
And they lead you up the mountain to the palace. It gleams in the sun, unlike pretty much any other palace, sparkling in like the rainbow colors Diamond is wont to sparkle in. And you are led to a shining throne room with no windows, just light filtering through the palace. Is bright enough to light the room, and the white dragon Saru, in its draconic form, is seated at the other end.
Is this like when someone's like sitting around their house, like slumped around with their t-shirt off, like
yeah, just like in their sweats.
Yeah. Is this the god dragon equivalent?
Approach.
Top out. What am I asking about? Shit.
You're the one who. I have things to talk about with dragons. I don't know what you have to talk about with dragons.
Right. Okay. We're going to come up with some stuff on the spot. So Vessinger is going to bow. Your Grace, my apologies for arranging this meeting on such a short notice.
Do you have something you wish to say?
It is quite presumptuous, Your Grace, but I am rather confused on the nature of the trial of lore.
You speak of the trial of knowledge.
Knowledge, yes. Apologies.
It is the simplest of the trials.
Well,
you must provide to us a secret worth our time and our minds.
My lord.
You will present it to me, and you will present it to Zoo, and we shall confer.
Your Grace, apologize for my confusion. I do not see what... I have had the great privilege of seeing the libraries and the lore stored by the dragon gods, and I have been bewildered. I'm curious to know what knowledge the dragons do not already possess. What would be truly of interest?
There are two sides to the coin of your question. The first, these trials are not typically undertaken by mortals such as yourself. Additionally, there are many lands outside of these islands, lands we do not visit. Are you to say that nothing happens in these places?
No, no, Your Grace. I was merely pondering what sort of information would be most interesting. My apologies. It's rather rude to ask so directly.
It is an aspect of the trial that you must decide that for yourself.
Very well. My apologies for the... and he's gonna...
Perhaps you could tell me something in exchange for giving you this time.
Alright, so I definitely know Visions from Fate would be a great topic that this dragon would probably find interesting.
Tell me about where you come from. You and your thing. The two of you have power that is unusual.
Oh, Grace, I come... If you speak as to the origin of where I was born and raised, I would have to say I came from Mullen. However, there is more than just that aspect to this question. My form is that of a tiefling, so my very being has been transformed by the power of the arcane. Furthermore, secret that perhaps you will find interesting, perhaps you will not. I am not human, necessarily. My mother was a traveler from Mara Doom, who came here. She was a Genasi.
I see. She snakes her head forward a little bit. You seem to be of more than just two worlds, though.
I'm not entirely certain as to the nature of my power. I know that they are related to the realm of demons, but more than that, I am left rather unknown.
I see. She pulls back. You may leave.
Grace, my thanks. And he's gonna walk out. Hopefully, she found that interesting and might see us more favorably.
Which metallic dragon is part of the secrets?
Secrets is Magan, brass compass. Which I misspoke earlier because I believe I said Zoo. Zoo is opposite Sataru.
God, this is so confusing.
I know. I have it written down and it helps. I mean, you also have the handout with all of them.
Yeah. Well, but it doesn't tell us which challenge they're attached to.
Right.
We should reorder that so that the second list is in order goes down the same aspect, the same trial they preside over. So for Boozer, it would be the Obsidian Sickle, and then
yeah.
so forth.
Here, I'll edit the handout so it'll be a little easier to understand.
All right, great. So yeah, Vessinger is gonna get back, and he's kind of a little bit in a cold sweat, oh.
Constance is reading.
Yeah. Should I organize another meeting with the other dragon?
I mean, I want to do more, but I also want to get through the trials. But I'm almost wanting to be like, our secret's going to be that the Empire is using sacrifices and controlling the minds of the mortals within Mara Doom.
Okay, that would be... Yeah, so actually that did actually help clear up a lot, because I thought what they wanted was objective knowledge, scientific discovery. But if it's something that's also just the happenstances of the world, then this kind of plays a lot more into our favor than our original.
Yeah, it was kind of implied it could be gossipy.
Yeah, vaguely, which is really helpful.
Yeah, gossipy being the best word I have for it.
The problem is that the Empire probably understands, unless Clementine isn't working.
No, we just got the hint today that she might not be, because of what Zaire said.
Can I spend a what do you call it? A fucking one of those token favor things, a divine favor.
Religious token? For what?
Religious token. To contact Zaire to ask the travelers to research into the happenstances with the cult.
To like look up accounts of running into various cults.
To kind of get more clear evidence that this is actually like not just that there's cults, but like the extent of the operation, the veritability of like what's going
on.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. I spent a couple days looking into what the fuck that dagger was and like the various symbolism of that.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll investigation.
Well, I'm not out of inspiration yet. Investigation. Okay.
You got
17.
A 17 is pretty damn good. Yeah, it's clearly a ceremonial dagger. Not meant for combat, meant for ritual. The material, you can't find anything on that material, which is, really helps solidify the idea that it's not from here. What you can find once you start following along that line of thought is there are theories about materials existent in realms wholly different from ours, that operate on different principles, and that would potentially explain why it was an object with no shadows, no texture. Of discovery. All right, all of the dragons now have their aspects next to them, which should help.
All right.
So, time passes, roughly 7 days, and Zerai returns to inform you that the next trial will be the trial of wit, meaning you will be standing before Satoru and Zu, and providing your arguments for why your side is the best side, basically.
Well, I'm really glad I researched all that stuff about Dunsinic being turned into a cult city.
Yeah. I think what you get back is that
Oh my god, and the Blue Dragon already knows that Vessinger gets visions from fate.
Yeah.
What you get back from the travelers is that they don't know anything, because no information about this has actually found its way into any of the other lands. No one knows what's happening in Dunsimic. It just, anyone's hearing is that things are normal.
Okay, interesting. But we do have a report from our own agent.
Yeah.
Which would count, I feel like, for information. I wish we had better contact otherwise, but Zaire's out there.
You think they're gonna reference check us?
True. What's the best way of figuring out what the situation in Dunsimic is? Let's go send a messenger to Dunsimic.
Click.
Yeah.
Hey, look what we have.
Right.
So, if you have anything specific you want to do to prepare for the trial of wit, you may do so. But otherwise, I feel like we should just scoot things along.
Could I, quote unquote, create an argument? And what I'm imagining for this is just like, I don't have an argument fully prepared here, but like, could I have my character roll a persuasion check to prepare like a piece of evidence for advantage or something?
And then you could just say later, this is the thing that I knew or had prepared. Yeah. Go ahead, roll persuasion.
All right. I'm gonna save the rest of that persuasion for.
And if you get, say, a 15 or higher, then at any point you can be like, but wait.
That's almost better than advantage. I'm gonna spend inspiration on that.
How much inspiration are you down to?
3.
Okay, we're on the same level. I started with 9.
Hey, yeah, okay. So at some point you can say, but this is the
Yeah.
thing, or oh, I didn't say that actually, right? You
Yeah.
can. Um. Yeah. So day rolls around. You're woken up. Everyone seems pretty ready. You get some encouragement from everybody. You get like some pats on the back. All right, Captain, give him hell.
Do that talkie thing. I'll
Um,
be there. I try my best not to fall asleep.
I'll stab them in the mind. The proper,
Yes.
respectful way.
Yes, but I think the dragons frown on the psychics.
Proper, respectful way.
Do you think they can see psychics?
Please, don't interfere with the trial. We have to win this one in a dignified manner.
All right.
So
Flashback to.
yeah.
Dignified manner. Punch in the face.
So you fly then to the Copper Isle, and you are led up to the palace as per usual. The village here being inhabited by people singing and conversing, and like there are some people who try to sell you things, and overall, like it's clearly a village of people all trying to get your attention.
I think there's like a little bit of this is kind of annoying, but it feels more like other places.
Yeah. And you're led up to the Copper Palace and down the hall to the doorway. The doors swing open, and there's a smaller throne room from the one in the Palace of Majesty. And down at the base of the dais there is a chair set aside for Sataru, who is already sitting there in his blue robes. And the two delegations advance, and Ambassador Klein looks around sort of confusedly and coughs. Is he late?
Wait, hold on. Are they talking with regards to the dragons?
Yeah, because Sataru is there.
Oh, the other one isn't.
How many dragons did we see fly off in the vision?
In the vision, 10.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, like Vessinger kind of looks over at is it Sataru?
Yeah.
That was there?
Just wait. Just
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd ask a few more questions first, Zerai says. And Zerai steps forward, and the form of the Dragonborn sort of bubbles away and is replaced by someone vaguely human, wearing copper-lined robes. He climbs the steps up to his throne, and he sits down.
You see Vessinger kind of like shakily like. I'm so glad I treated him with respect.
Now, which one of you wants to convince us first?
Well, I have confidence either way. If the Empire's delegation would like to go first, I would fully be willing to allow them.
How gracious of you. Ambassador Klein, please come forward. The ambassador is like flabbergasted. Your wondrous, truly wise. Yes. The people you see before you are not who they say they are. They have no noble cause. They have no armies. They are but a band of people seeking to destroy a way of life. And I, as a representative of the Empire, I do not represent the evil they claim I am. They will tell you that we have gone to Mara Dune, that we go to the wild lands, and they will tell you we seek conquest. They will tell you that we have a rapacious appetite, one that can never be sated. But truly, if that is to be said of anyone, it is to be said of them. We journeyed to Mara Dune, not for conquest, but to help. To bring a civilization to a people who knew no better than their backwards ways. And the same is true of the wildlands. These are people who live in the dirt. People for whom our technology could save lives. And yet, in the short 7 months since these two violently broke out of prison, they have done nothing but murder and pillage. We call upon you for aid, not because we seek to destroy, but because with your power at our side, we could go to the wildlands and bring them peace and prosperity, like you have shown all the Dragonborn that serve you. Captain Vessinger, your response.
Of course. My lords, your graces. I am not going to argue that the Resistance is a mighty force. We are but a group of people who seek to change things for the better of this world, for the lands of Hersagul. They say that they do not have a voracious appetite. They say that they bring ennoblement to the lands they conquer. Yet, I cannot help but question those motives. For in the short period of time they have conquered Mara Dune, how is it that that the oolite in the sands has become so lacking, that the resources of the land have become so drained, and to bring peace and ennoblement to the lands of to the wildlands, they say they bring medicine, ways of saving lives, yet their endless conquest brings nothing but death. They raze villages to the ground, they slaughter people without cause. And it raises the question, the great continents of Mulund and Mara Dune have not been enough to sate the Empire's thirst for oolite. What of the wildlands? Sure, for the moment, it is a great source of resources. Oolite there seems boundless. But what of 10 years? What of 50? What of 100? What will there be left in Hersagul to mine? The Empire has done nothing but kill and conquer for resources that it willfully spends to drain what little land we have left here. And not only that, their methods of conquest are absolutely reprehensible. I do not know whether you are aware, my lords, or not, but in the lands of Dunsimic, a terrible treachery has befallen the people there. Their governess, Clementine Jarashire, has, well, I hate to say more than can be confirmed, seemingly given herself over to a kind of outside influence. Cultists roam the streets, Benassi are sacrificed in droves, people are mind-controlled and forced to do against their will. Not a land of ennoblement, it's not a land of justice. There is no spreading of technology. If anything, the people are repressed, killed. I do not see the positive side of this empire. I see a swarm of locusts seeking to devour these lands for their own gain. I see, and it's true, our people are not the most, we do not have the greatest past. In fact, they may sometimes be checkered, but our intentions are good. The empire is something that threatens the safety and well-being of the lands of Hersagul. Your graces.
Sotaru sits up. Do you mean to say to us that this empire poses a threat somehow to our holy beings?
I do not doubt your ability to fight off the Empire. I am saying that the Empire poses a threat to the well-being of the lands of Hersagul. More specifically, the wildlands Mulland and Mara Dune will be drained of resources.
We have cared nothing for these lands in the past. Should we care for them now?
My lord, I am merely arguing that their facade of desiring to bring ennoblement is false, and that they seek to only drain resources. There is no justice in their cause.
How do you answer to these charges, Ambassador Klein? Well, This man speaks of horrors visited upon the people of Maradoon, and I must say he leaves out the most important details. You see, it was found that he himself was a traitor during the war, one who allowed information to be given to violent elements within that country during the war that surely cost the lives of many Imperial soldiers. And his compatriot, Constance Stormheart, was implicated in multiple war crimes after the end of the war. In fact, were it not for the truly integral actions of our Grand Admiral Molokai Kent, we would not even know of many of the crimes she visited upon these people. You see, as a people, we believe in accountability. Whereas these two could not even serve their own sentence without bringing death to the guards around them. Now, yes, in order to maintain an empire as large as ours, we require many resources, it's true. But those resources are used to help people. Now, I would ask of the fine captain, who has been taking resources of his own by committing acts of piracy throughout the many lands, what has happened to those resources? Have they been used to help people, or have they been used to make your ships greater, more fearsome? Zoo turns to you. How do you answer?
Well, I will respond first to the original point the man made. It is true. Like I mentioned in my previous arguments, our members are not people who have a completely moral or clean. But yet, I ask you to look upon this information that is presented with a certain amount of scrutiny. They speak of their Grand Admiral Molokai Kent, but not unknown to people around him, the very person who stood by his side. In fact, Molokai was the person who stood by her side through the countless, say, atrocity that were committed, was Constance Stormheart. Molokai Kent is no better.
Is this true?
Constance from the background. Yes.
Yeah.
Continue.
Anyways, as I was saying, Molokai Kent is not the man he's made out to be. Many of these war crimes that are supposedly put upon us are outnumbered 10 to 1 by the crimes of war that are committed by the Empire. As for not serving out our sentence, well, it is the very nature of our organization to go against the order that is the Empire. Why would we follow the Empire's laws when we find them inherently unjust? Well, I regret to say we have resorted to violence in many cases. It was violence that was a necessity to maintain our cause. Violence that, well, we will never wash our hands of the sin that stains them. We can only hope that future generations will look upon our actions and see that we were working towards the greater good. we have indeed bolstered our fleet, what little strength we have. But one must question yourself: how much of the Ulite in the lands of Maradun truly went to beneficial or scientific research? How grand are the fleets under the command of the Empress? I hardly dare say she conjured those materials out of thin air. I would hardly think simple acts of science were enough to drain Maradun of its resources, as Arcanomancy was already present in Maradun before the war. Wait, that's true, right? We
Yes.
established that, right? Yeah. Wait. I rest my case.
We will hear now from witnesses. Ambassador? Yes. The Imperial delegation calls upon Mamrie Hall to speak on the character of these individuals. A woman of small stature, who's probably losing her fucking mind right now, dressed in clothes that clearly don't fit her, steps forward. Well, your lords, if it weren't for the actions of these two vagabonds, my husband would still be alive today. He became a guard on a merchant ship because he wanted to see the world, and he wanted to keep people safe. And that was the best way he knew how. And when his ship encountered theirs, that woman descended on the deck like a demon and sent him to an unconscionable death within the arcane. Now, I don't know anything about emperors or gods or any of this politics, but I know every day I miss that man. She steps back. Who would you call to the stand?
Top Hat, what do you think? Gamses or Zaire?
Gamses is actually here, so I feel like that's the...
Yeah, we'll use Gamses. Alright, I would like to call to the stand Gamses. Does Gamses, or otherwise known as, wait, is she, like, clean with her reputation of the Rumara?
No one knows that is her secret identity now. She's like Batman.
Okay.
So she's just... We're calling Gamses.
Yeah, so we call... I called the defendant, the witness Gamses to stand.
Gamses, like, looks around.
Doom Cynic. Just to say citizen of Maradun.
Citizen of Doom Simic.
She stands up stiffly, walks forward. Your Eminence, Zerai, Zu, Your Eminence, I have lived under the shadow of the Empire my entire life. From the day I was born to this very day, I have had to watch people like this woman's husband. Reasonable people kill my family and my friends. Not out of any personal vendetta, but because of what they were told to do by the Empire. I have spent the past months with Constance and with Albert, and I can tell you that Ambassador Klein is correct. They are not good people. They have done terrible things. But they do not want terrible things. They do not want to live in a world where good men are made to do bad things. And they can bring that world, that better one, to us because they have been those people. They know the steps that are taken. Ambassador Klein will never own up to his mistakes or the mistakes of his people. He will never tell you how many lives were ended needlessly. He will lie to you, and he will show you only the good things. But no person is evil, and no person is good. And the only one standing in this room telling you both the good and the bad is the captain. Thank you. She goes back and sits down. Zu and Satoru look at each other. If either of you have any final arguments? No? Good. Satoru, are we in accord? I do believe that is the case. Yes, Zu. Very well. You shall return to your chambers. There is but one more trial. See to it you present your best.
Goddamn. All right. We'll pack up our case and walk back.
Yeah, so you head back to your rooms, no longer guided by Zerai. Captain, I am sorry if what I said was out of line, or...
Gamzees. I think you did the best you could do, and your words are not lost on me. Thank you.
Constance... I am sorry.
You did what you're asked to do. You know, there's nothing more to it.
Yes.
Now?
Is there anything you guys need to prepare before the final trial?
I mean, there's something I want to do, and it's not smart. And I think it's going to be great if we end with it.
Unless you were thinking of extending it so we just finish up this last trial and be done with it.
Kind of just want to finish the last trial.
Okay, I'm going to just send you what I want to do, and we can just end with that.
We can find out if it's horribly disruptive.
Evidence. Damn it. Fuck.
Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, you can handle that later. So I think your party returns to your chambers, and there's not much for you to do for the next 10 days.
I guess where I am. Guess what I'm doing.
Are you in the Blue Dragon's palace?
Library. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't say anything about the trial. He continues to ask, "Why are you here?"
There's more knowledge.
For what reason have you returned? I see. Interesting. And 10 days pass somewhat uneventfully. Until the final trial. And on that day, I think, you're woken up and you're getting ready, and you still, previously Zerai would tell you if you had won a trial or not. but
Now we don't know.
now you don't know. And some gold dragonborn attendant comes in the morning to wake you up, and
Of course.
like lets you know, okay, the trial. Yes, here's your food. Okay, goodbye. And as per tradition, whichever trial comes last will also be conducted here in the Palace of Majesty, so you don't have to go very far.
Yeah.
But you're all like getting together and hanging out. And I think
I'm gonna pull aside Constance before, like before the trial starts, or beforehand, probably like the night before or something. I'm gonna pull aside Constance. I mean, he's like looking troubled, and he's gonna look at Constance. Constance, there's something I haven't told you.
Yeah, there's a lot of those things.
Well, yes.
Your horns twitch. I see it.
Ha 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 ha. To be completely frank with you, there is a reason I do the things I do. Presumably everyone has a, but, well, we have to win this trial, regardless of the costs, and I may have a secret that might guarantee us a win.
Alright, what is...
Wait, shit. Well, it would be better described if you, well...
But... He's not even finished talking, I just hit him.
And I'm gonna show him the one vision, the vision I saw all those years ago that we established previously. I don't know if we want to like give some.
No. I think that after that, like Constance is just sitting on the ground, just going, "Oh, well, I need to write a letter." Just walks away.
You probably need to write several.
And then I think as you're getting ready to leave to go to the trial, you hear a voice from back in your rooms.
Hello?
What? Hello?
Yeah, you can hear somebody shouting back in Albert's room.
Go in there.
I'm gonna walk back and go in there.
It's one of the communicators. It's John. Captain?
Yeah.
John, yes.
Zaire was supposed to speak to me last night, and I haven't heard from them in 2 days.
What?
No. I'm afraid the worst might have happened.
John, get to as secure of a place as you can. Contact the travelers. They still owe me some favors. Get them to ask around. This is one of their people, after all.
Aye.
And whatever you do, make sure you're not compromised. Please, which you can to find Zaire.
On it.
You just see like this thing of Vessinger like throwing the communication stone against the ground,
Mm-hmm.
And like you just hear this like loud gurgling noise that's not producible by a human voice as he swears in primordial.
Yeah, I think Gamzee is like ducks out in the courtyard. That doesn't sound good.
And Vessinger is gonna like storm out, clearly very unhappy.
Everything okay, Captain?
Gamzee, prepare the ship for to take off.
Aye, aye.
We have a trial to attend to.
Yeah, she will part way down the hallway to go prepare the ships.
I'm gonna turn to Constance. Constance, send out messages. We're convening in Dunsimic immediately. We will finish the trials and then go.
Alright, I'll do it.
Thank you. And we should probably take. Oh, the Storm Singer, the Lord Albert. Yeah, we should take Lord Albert's revenge.
Austin Waltz. Unless you renamed it.
Yeah, no.
I think
messed up. I got named
the Cog and the Pleasure Palace are here.
I thought we brought Lord Austin Waltz because it was the fastest to get.
Yeah, I thought it was Lord Austin Waltz in the Pleasure Palace. And also it's been like 3 months, so...
Yeah.
Ships might have changed.
I feel like your ships might be healed by now?
I'll check.
It's been 50 days.
Yeah.
Plus the 14 before. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Our ships are probably pretty healed up. But
Yep.
So who all is going into the throne room?
Albert.
Constance will once she's done making the calls.
Okay, so Constance is going to head back to the rooms and catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Albert, you walk into the throne room and like you're maybe like a little bit late, and Ambassador Klein is already there and he's smirking like, "Oh yeah, we won. We've got this in the bag."
Yeah. So Albert's gonna like bow deeply to the dragons. My apologies, Your Eminency. There was a slight issue.
And you see Saru, who you have spoken to, is the White Dragon, and also Magan, who you have not seen, the God Dragon of the Brass Compass. Magan is in his human form, while Saru has chosen to remain draconic.
Saru's just that fucking person who walks around with their shirt off all the time.
She's a sweats kind of dragon, okay? And I think like we see the doors swinging closed behind you, and faintly through the crack we see a ship approaching.
Yeah.
And Magan, standing at the base of the dais. The delegation representing the resistance may step forward and present their secret.
All right.
And
so
Saru brings her head down next to Magan.
Yeah. So Vessinger is gonna like step forward, take a deep breath. Well, so question: do we want to actually just say it here, or are we gonna play around a little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna say it here for real. All right. Well, Your Eminencies, please. This may be slightly shocking to hear, and I ask you to bear with me and believe that I am telling the truth. On my word as a traveler, I saw, in a vision from fate, Hersagul broken and burnt down in flames. Its clan sunder, its people slain, and I saw it sink into the arcane.
They look at each other, and Ambassador Klein like, what's with this guy? And the two of them, Magan and Saru, look up at Boozer and Gula, and Gula nods. Very well. And the Empire? Your wondrousness, you see, some time ago, and then the doors just like slam open, and I think Constance, you're walking back from the rooms, and you see a familiar figure, like striding toward the throne room. That like you're like, wait, who else is going to the trial? And then they stride into the room, and Molokai Kent, in all of his finery, strides directly into the room. No pause, no nothing. God dragons, if that is what you are. And he withdraws the fabric covering from the parcel we saw him transporting last session, to reveal a gleaming golden spear. Behold, the spear of the Dragon Slayer. And let's go to credits.
So we're just gonna kill the fuck out of Molokai as fast as we can.
So many things I want to do right now.
So, let's get some experience, shall we? Because you earned some. I have to open up the. Oh God, I need to remember not to open up Windows there.
We have a slight issue with determining the scale of how much experience we should get, because we've been dealing with beings that are gods.
Yeah, I think the easy way to do this is to say you guys leveled up.
Yeah, that's
because you have absolutely convinced creatures far beyond your tier, and the magic fight, while not necessarily deadly, was in fact tuned to an extreme level of difficulty, and yet you still prevailed. So you guys can go ahead and just level up. This was the leveling up very quickly portion of the campaign.
Christ.
But yeah, as for inspiration, let's see, we had 3 scenes of past Constance.
Yep. Yes.
We had young teenager and adult. Yeah. So
Yeah.
three inspiration for Constance. I'll give you a bonus one for library stuff. How many trials did Albert win? Wit and knowledge, so take a point for each of those. Another point.
I did win wit?
Yeah.
They just didn't say anything. They wanted to finish the trials.
Yeah.
They're such cocks.
I want to say I called it in chat with Crispy.
Yeah. I was getting the vague sense that they were just fucking with us. Like,
I mean, Zoo is a bit of a just fuck with you kind of dragon.
yeah.
So yeah, get an inspiration for each of those. Even just competing, you earned inspiration.
Oh, whoops.
Get an inspiration for your conversation with Saru, where you talked about things but did not tip your hand for the trial of knowledge, because Saru was trying to maneuver you into a position where you would no longer have a secret to give.
Yeah.
So good job there. And I think that's it, unless you want to lobby me for further points of inspiration.
Can I lobby for a point of inspiration for Gamzees?
How so?
That Gamzees deserves a piece of inspiration.
For my role playing her.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel really good about how that went. So yeah, I'll absolutely award myself a point of inspiration. Why not? But yeah, thank you guys for playing, and thank you for I look at the same camera for looking at the players and the audience, but thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, all of the previous episodes are up on YouTube if you're not already watching it there. If you are and you haven't watched them, what's wrong with you? Go back and watch them. That's youtube.com/Anarsis. All of my scheduling and stuff is announced on Twitter at twitter.com/Anarsis. And I believe we're going to be back next weekend to find out what happens next. Who actually wins the trial now that Molokai has shown up with some major leverage. And we'll find all that out next week. So in the meantime, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening and a fantastic week. See you there.